I would say in most situations, no, they're not. In most situations, again, people love to use the label of love to validate and defend the relationships that they're in. Because if I'm in that situation and I tell you, nah, I'm not really in love, but I'm having a hard time letting go for other reasons, then you're going to keep trying to convince me why I should let go. If I tell you, but I'm in love, you might leave me alone. So now I use that as a defense mechanism, and I have to convince myself, why am I still here? And so if I keep telling myself, I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love, then I can defend why I won't let go of this bad situation. But in most cases, no, it is a fear of being alone. It is a fear of acknowledging the mistake of getting caught up with this person. It is a deeper issue that's causing you to be attached to this individual, but you're calling it love. And so to the outside person, they get discouraged by the idea of love because they see these horrible examples. But don't be fooled. That's not real love. Love does not keep you where you do not belong. All right? And so, but let me say this. Are there some situations where someone is in love with someone and they have an unhealthy relationship right now? Yes, that does happen because we're human beings. And sometimes we can be in love with each other, but it's not time for us to be together. That person hasn't address their demons, their issues that would allow them to have a healthy relationship. Being in love is just one piece of the puzzle, all right? And so, yes, you could actually have a real connection with this individual, but they're still very unhealthy. And so are you. You got some things you're not realizing that need to be addressed. So there needs to be a separation. So one way or another, whether you have a connection with them or not, you need to break up that relationship right now. If it's unhealthy and toxic and it's not being corrected, you have to walk away. But that doesn't mean you guys can't come back together later. And it doesn't mean that that individual won't get themselves on the right track because people change all the time. You know what I'm saying? But they can be, a lot of times they're less likely to change when you remain with them because now you're enabling them. And they have no reason to, because facing yourself is like one of the hardest things to do. So people ain't gonna do that if you're gonna still be with them. But once you leave them, watch how fast. It's almost like if a job tells you got to get your master's to work here, but they hire you anyway, you're not going to run to go get your master's. You're going to keep doing your thing. But let them fire you. Let's see how quick you go get your master's so you can get your job back. You know, so that's what it is.
And then how can you tell the difference? Because you made reference earlier that some people who say they're in love, they're actually just infatuated. Like from your experiences and your counseling and your wisdom that you have, like how do you tell the difference between somebody who's in love and somebody who's just being infatuated with another person?
So for me, I think for the average person, it's going to be hard to evaluate.
Okay.
For me, I have this innate thing that I can pick up on things very quickly. So just in talking to you and the way you speak about the relationship tells me everything. Another example is, what are you using to claim this is why you should be here? So one time I had a young lady who was coming to me for a coaching session, and she was saying, you know, I help him, I do this for him, I do that, blah, 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 and I'm so in love with him. And I said, well, you told me everything you do for him. What does he do for you? And she stopped. All right? She stopped, and she was like, you know what? He doesn't do anything. So how are you going to tell me you're so in love with someone who does nothing for you? Nothing. It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Our ability to fall in love with someone or to embrace someone in love, don't get me wrong, we can give love to anybody regardless of them doing anything for us. So don't get me wrong, giving genuine love is not attached to what we receive in return. However, to be in love in the romantic sense and want a relationship with someone, yes, there's a give and take.